Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, what's up, everybody? This your boy G coming at you live once again. And actually, it's going to be the last part, it's going to be the last episode of How to Attract Money by Dr. Joseph Murphy. So let me get started because it's going to be a heavy share for the last one. Um, Yesterday, I shared with you guys the concept um, of marrying the idea and what this means. And so let me just cover that once again because um, he explains it once again here. So here it goes. Your concept, desire, idea, plan, goal, or aim in life, that's your idea. Hey, ¿cómo está Bonini Patricia? And that's the idea. That's your conscious. That's the conscious part of it. And the second part is the emotion, feeling nature, or the inner tone. So in other words, you must mother the idea. The idea must be mothered, loved, and felt as true in order to manifest your aim in life. Hey, what's going on, Magic Chris? Good to have you. Um, and so what does it say here? The idea is the father, and the emotion is the mother. This is the marriage feast, which is always taking place in your mind, an idea with an emotion. Okay? Now, he talks about a third element, and the third element being the peace of God. And I was wondering what this peace of God meant, and he explains it this way. So once you have an idea and you marry it with your emotion, you have to let your divine wisdom guide you. You have to let the subjective wisdom within you lead, guide, and govern you in all your ways. Simply turn over your request to this indwelling presence, knowing in your heart and soul that it will dissipate the anxiety, heal the wound, and restore your soul to equanimity and tranquility. Repeat to yourself, God is my pilot. He leads me. He prospers me. He is my counselor. And like I say over and over, guys, whatever you want to replace the word God with, feel free to do so. Dr. Joseph Murphy is a man of God. He's a man of the Bible. That's why he uses these words. But even in the beginning of the book, he says you can replace God with the term that best suits your religious inclination. Another affirmation that he suggests that we repeat over and over is I am a channel through which God's riches flow ceaselessly, copiously, and freely. And he gives the example of a Zen monk who was asked by his disciple about what truth is. And I was wondering why he shared this story right at this point, and I can see it now. He because at this point the book is almost over, and there's still people there are still going to be people that are going to be questioning and wondering whether this is all true or not, or trying to find their way to figure out exactly what the truth is. So when the Zen monk had a disciple following him, and he was carrying a bag. And when the disciple asked him, Master, what is the truth? He dropped the bag. And then the disciple was looking at him with a puzzled look, and he just picked the bag up, and then he started walking, and he was singing and joyful. And the and the and the meaning of this story is that when the monk placed the bag again on his bag, on placed the bag again on his back, it means that the, the problem might still be there. However, you now have mental rest and relief from the burden because he has invoked the divine wisdom on his behalf. Hi, Ollie, good to have you. He has invoked the divine wisdom on his behalf. Therefore, he's singing the song of triumph, knowing that the answer to his prayer is on the way. And he sings for the joy that is set before him. And it is wonderful. So you can see here that the burden might always be there, yet it is your choice to mentally keep burdening yourself with that, because at every moment you have the power to choose to liberate yourself from that burden. Although the physical and in the material world, that burden may still be there, but mentally you can free yourself from it. And the trick being, as you free yourself mentally from that burden, the physical burden will dissipate on its own accord. And that is the truth, because you say so. You lie to yourself all the time, and you tell yourself things all the time that sometimes they help you, sometimes they don't. But it's up to you to choose which thoughts empower you and which thoughts you would like to keep in your mind and in your hi Misty, good to have you, and in your heart, to determine what empowers you and what doesn't, what is true for you and what is not true for you. And he cautions here that in the beginning, when everybody starts to learn about this mental science of truth, they get super excited and they're like going after it really hard. However, when as soon as things start to turn the tide, or I don't know, just as things start to change a little bit, what happens is that they let their old thinking patterns come back, and they do not remain faithful to the to their aims and goals, to their heart's desires. And that creates confusion. And being unfaithful, just like in marriage, it creates a dissolution from your ideal that you married with your emotion, with your pure emotion, to make the good that you were envisioning happen in your life, right? And he says, know that the subjective or deeper self within you will accept your request, and being the great fabricator, it will bring it to pass in its own way. Your voice is your inner mental movement of the mind, your inner psychological journey where you feasted mentally on an idea until you were full. Then you rested. You say things to yourself and you fill yourself with them. And at one point, you let go and you just absolutely let whatever was going through your mind seep deep into you. And you end up taking that as the truth. You end up taking that as your truth, as your reality. And more of it keeps happening over and over and over. However, once you start to really know that you have the power and you start to get in touch with these deeper laws, you use the laws to bless, heal, inspire, and lift up others as well as yourself. And it starts with you. Regardless of present circumstances, you can prove your good is ever present by detaching yourself mentally from the problem, going on the high watch, and go about your Father's business. So to go on the high watch means to envision your good, to dwell on the new concept of yourself, to become married to it, and sustain the happy mood by remaining faithful, full of faith every step of the way, knowing that the wine of joy, the answered prayer, is on the way. You can this moment travel psychologically in your mind and enter mentally through divine imagination into any desired state. The wealth, health, or invention you wish to introduce are all invisible first. Everything comes out of the invisible. Just like the Wright brothers, a couple of bicycle mechanics, achieved manpower flight out of their imagination. Everything comes out of the invisible. You must subjectively possess riches before you can objectively possess wealth. The feeling of wealth produces wealth, for wealth is a state of consciousness, and a state of consciousness is how you think, how you feel, and what you believe, and what you mentally give consent to. What you mentally give consent to. What you mentally give consent to. Whatever you take upon yourself as being true and for you. And he gives an example to cap off the book, because this is over. So I'm gonna go over a little bit 10 minutes today. So bear with me. And he gives the story of a teacher in California who was barely earning like $6,000 a week a year. And mind you guys, this is a very old book, so take that into account. And she happened to be walking past the shop, and there was a fur coat that was $8,000. She learned about these laws of the mind, and she started to affirm. She started to relax, and every night before she would go to sleep, she would like imagine herself wearing the coat, like touching it, caressing it, feeling the fur, feeling the warmth. and nothing happened for 3 months, and she was doing it over and over every day for 3 months, and she was about to give up. Yet she had heard that he who perseveres to the end shall be saved. So she kept on going with perseverance, and she kept on every night in a very relaxed state. She would every night fall asleep wearing that fur coat that she so much wanted. And the promise is that you saw it on the unseen, and you know you will see it in the seen, right? And that this is basically what this book has been all about. You relax, and you completely get into the state where you completely take that truth upon yourself, that you are in the possession of that which you want, or that imagination, that desire that you so badly want it to be part of your life, and you completely let it seep into all aspects of your mind. First, through your imagination, you will see it very clearly, and that imagination will be made manifest. And the end to the story of the teacher is that she was coming out of service one Sunday morning, and a man stepped on her toe. He apologized to her, and he ended up driving her home. And a very short time later, they got married. And guess what? He bought her that same coat, which for 3 months she went to sleep every night imagining as being her coat. 3 months. Okay? So, through your capacity to choose, imagine the reality of what you have selected. And through faith and perseverance, you can realize your goal in life. All the riches of heaven are here now within you, waiting to be released. Peace, joy, love, guidance, inspiration, and goodwill and abundance all exist now. And all that is necessary in order to express God's riches is for you to leave the present now, parentheses, your limitation, enter into the mental vision or picture, and in a happy, joyous mood, become one with your ideal. Now, having seen and felt your good in moments of high exaltation, you know that in a little while you shall see your ideal objectively as you walk through time and space. As within, so without. As above, so below. As in heaven, so on earth. In other words, you will see your beliefs expressed, because man is belief expressed. Man is belief expressed. So, what do you take upon yourself to be true? What do you believe in? And what do you program yourself to believe in that has you manifesting that which you really want? And how faithful are you all throughout the day to that idea, to that principle to which you dedicate every moment of your consciousness to imagine and to envision in your mind? And it's funny because as within, so without, as above, so below. This past weekend, I was in LA attending an event by Bob Proctor called Paradigm Shift, and he gave us a coin. And if you look in the back of the coin, there's a drawing that says up, down, in, out. And I just realized it right now as I was sharing with you guys. Is as within, so without. In, out. You're living inside out. And as above, so below. You're living from a higher consciousness to a lower consciousness. And that is why imagination is so key. And what you believe in your imagination is so important. Even Albert Einstein, one of the foremost geniuses that we all always talk about, he said imagination is more important than intelligence, because intelligence will take you from point A to point B. Imagination will take you everywhere. So think about that. There has to be something that guided such a genius to say something so heavy as saying imagination is more important than intelligence. Napoleon Hill on Think and Grow Rich, timeless count, like so many times in the book, he says imagination is the most marvelous. miraculous, inconceivably powerful force in the whole universe. And we as humans have been endowed with the power of imagination. And it is up to you how you want to use. Okay, I realized that my shirt pocket was flipped up upside down. And it is up to you how you use your God-given power and talents and gifts to increase your life and the life of everyone around you, and not just around you, because making good for you is making good for everyone. Um, like the golden rule by I think Jones, is what I want for me, I want for everyone. So think about that. Are you wishing good upon you and yet wishing bad upon others? Or are you very inadvertently wishing bad for yourself and always only wanting good for others? So what is it for you? Think about that. What do you believe in? And really sit down and have a look at what your thoughts are, what is running through your head, and address it, face it head on, change it, adjust it, play with it. And remember this, and I quote Buckminster Fuller: you do not you do not change the old model. You build a completely new model that renders the old model obsolete. And with that, guys, it has been my pleasure to share How to Attract Money by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And if you want more from Dr. Joseph Murphy, you can just Amazon his name, and you're gonna see another very powerful book. It's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It is a very long book, so I decided not to share on my daily shares. However, if you want to go more deeply into the study of your subconscious mind and its power and how it can change your life, I suggest that you go and pick up the book, have fun with it. This is the completion of this share, and this is the last episode of this book. Share with me, what do you think? What are your comments? What are your insights? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? And let's see, if you want any clarification, or if you want to know more deeply about how you can shift your paradigms and how you can change this thing that seems so like out of reach for you right now, just know that you are capable to do anything that you put your mind into. And if I started to do it, so can you. I am by no means complete in my journey. I am just scratching the surface. And, you know, all it takes for you is to just take the first step and start scratching the surface, and we can do it together. So with that, guys, it's been my pleasure. I will see you next week with the start of a new series. And with that, have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend with your loved ones, and I will see you on the next one. Much love. It was your boy Jay. Peace out.